Hi, everyone. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Welcome back to the Attractions Podcast. So good to be here at the usual bat time, the usual bat channel, with the usual bat co-hosts.
Yes. You know what? We're going to be together for a while because I was just looking at the dates.
Yeah,
and
I've got a little travel coming up in July to go up to Jersey. But other than that, we should both be here for a few weeks. So
yes.
Unless you get, I don't know, flown out to
Tokyo
something
Disney?
exciting.
Yeah.
Well, you do have an exciting trip coming up that we are going to be talking about, I guess, on next week's show.
Yes.
And we'll have a special guest, too, next week. So.
Yes. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. I am so bummed that I'm not going to make it to the Universal Kids Resort. I want to go on that Shrek ride so bad.
Yeah, I guess I didn't qualify because I don't have a small child to bring with me. I feel like that whole park is one giant pteranodon flyers that I'll never be able to experience with unless I kidnap a small child.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, obviously I don't have kids, but I guess I do write for a lot of family travel sites. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be really hot though. That's my one qualm is there's not a lot indoors.
It is. I think that the concept art shows some lush greenery that should provide shade in a few years. If the difference between epic at opening and what we hope it'll grow into is any indication, it'll probably take a few years for the foliage to all fully grow in.
Exactly.
So bring one of those UV umbrellas, like I take around the Japan parks.
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna melt if you're going. Good luck to Danny, who will be heading out there.
Oh yeah, Danny's going.
And we'll be talking to her about that next week. Don't tell anyone. You heard it here first.
There's a lot of water, like splash zones there. So
I think that is the key, that there are splash zones everywhere. And I would not be shocked if that whole place does well if the first expansion isn't a water park.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It's so hot in Texas.
You'd think there'd be at least one indoor dark ride.
Yeah.
One indoor air-conditioned theater.
I was hoping for a Shrek indoor dark ride.
Well, we will definitely be talking about that in just a second. But before we kick off the show, let us check in with some folks in the comments. And first up, good to see you, Orange Blossom and Tails. Welcome. If anyone else would like to jump into the comments right now, here is your chance, because I think we're going to get ready to kick this show off in just a moment. Also, for those of you who tuned in early, keep an eye out on our podcast streams because we recorded a special episode with a special interview guest. And that will be dropping as a bonus episode sometime in the near future. So
yes, I'm excited for that.
Keep a lookout for that. Yep. All right. It doesn't look like we have anyone else dropping into the comments, but we got quite a few people watching. So what do you say we kick this thing off in 3, 2.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and MEI-Travel. I'm Seth.
And I'm Carly.
And we are here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. And Carly, how have you been? You back home from all your travels?
Yes. I had a wonderful visit up in New York and New Jersey, visiting my family. And it was also like unseasonably warm weather. So I actually got to have a beach day, which I did not anticipate getting to happen this early. It was so beautiful. And yes, go Knicks. That was really fun this weekend.
Yes.
Following along.
1 in 5.
Yes, so
that footage of Times Square was incredible.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was unbelievable. I mean, just seeing everyone out in the streets and the
Yep.
music and the noise, it was just wild to
I
watch.
apologize to anyone who had a Broadway ticket for that
Oh,
night, because you were not getting to your show on time.
oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
can't even imagine. Yeah, it was crazy, but also very exciting. I'm not a basketball player, but camaraderie.
I don't do sports ball at all, but
Yeah.
I've got family and friends who are very excited.
Yes, it's fun to follow along. And then otherwise, I have been laying low and getting ready because I'm doing something really fun this week. I am
Yes.
headed to San Francisco, close by there, the town called Emeryville, where there's also original Trader Vic's, which I will be going there. But that is not the reason for my visit. I am going to Pixar, and I am like, I cannot wait. So been laying low to get ready for that.
And I assume that this is tied to the upcoming Toy Story film.
Yes, yeah, they're having a screener there of the new Toy Story 5, and we're also going to get to go on a tour, which I have dreamed of going on. I cannot wait. I will be hitting the merchandise shop up, of course, because they have all that exclusive merch. And also, I saw they have really cool, they do like the latte art, like Disney Cruise Line does, but with their characters on top. So,
all right, that's going to have to go on your Instagram.
Yes. Sure. Oh, yes. I will be taking lots of pictures. I think I'm allowed to. So, yes.
I think the closest I will come is visiting Disney Hollywood Studios, where they have that little section that looks like the Pixar campus.
Yes, I love that.
So jealous that you're getting to go, and
yes,
so I can't wait to hear all about it on next week's show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't top that one. I am going this week on a glamping horseback riding trip, which is so
Westgate?
Totally not me. With Westgate, yes. I'm going to Westgate, which about an hour and a half southeast of Orlando, and going to experience their rodeo, their ranch. I'm going to stay in a Conestoga wagon. So I'm really excited to put my one pair of boots to use.
Do you know what? I actually ordered cowboy boots. They just arrived because I'm going to do a Slate Woody bound. I haven't worn cowboy boots in like 20 years.
All right. Well, break in before you spend a day walking around in them.
Sure. That is so fun. I stayed at that resort years ago with a girlfriend just like for fun. It was really nice. I remember like there's a saloon there. I have very like pixelated memories of it because it was a while ago, but
I'm looking forward to s'mores around a campfire.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That would be really, really fun. And I think it's a good thing to add on to like families coming to Orlando because it's really not that far as long as you have a rental car. And it's something like really different to do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The one theme park visit I did have this week was right after we recorded last week's episode. I went over to the Magic Kingdom and had kind of an interesting experience. I'm driving there through construction past big trucks and on rough road, and I'm thinking it feels a little rumblier than usual today. And then I get to the Magic Kingdom and realize that every single major attraction, Tron, Seven Dwarves, Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, everything is down.
Whoa!
We had an earthquake. If you didn't hear about this, if this didn't make national news, there was an earthquake just right off the coast of Cuba that we felt all the way here in Orlando, and I guess it tripped safety systems and made everything in the park of consequence go down for about an hour.
Well, that's good to know that they're able to recognize it and safety first.
I'm not aware of any damage or injury or anything like that. And rides did come back up an hour or two afterwards. I finally got my first ride on Big Thunder, which is I wasn't blown away by the bats or the lighting in the first lift hill. It was nice to see everything clean, but it's so smooth now. It's maybe even smoother than the Disneyland version.
I agree. Are the possums back yet? Or I think they're still working on them.
They might not have been there. I didn't notice them
because they weren't on it when I just did it. Yeah.
Mostly, I noticed not only is all the vibration gone, but even things like parts where I would always get a little pop of air or, you know, a shuffle. Other than the trick track section just after the flooded village, it's just so smooth.
So
now.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how it ages. We'll see if it still is smooth in a few years.
Were you just distracted by any of the construction, or did you like?
You know what? That's funny. I was constantly looking off and seeing all the work that's going on there on Cars Land and off Villains Land. And,
I don't know if it's just because of We Are Who We Are, but I spent the entire time also not paying attention to the ride and looking at everything. And I was like, oh gosh, that was probably not the point of this, but it was exciting to see, you know?
Yeah. And I had a couple really obvious spots where they put giant walls as you're coming through, cutting off the view. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops. And I also had my first visit ever to the Beak and Barrel. I enjoyed my drink.
What'd you get?
I got the one that comes in a Jack Sparrow skull.
The Plunderer's Punch. That's
yes,
my favorite.
It was very potent.
Okay, thank you. I love that bar. I think I've gone like 10 times now. Every single time, even their batch drinks, they're so strong.
I wish they weren't batched, but they're definitely not weak.
Yes. So. I mean, like I don't love the batch, but if you are going to batch cocktails, make them strong. Like Oga's drinks are not strong. It's like juice. Yeah. Did you eat anything?
I had the arepa. It's a corn. It's basically arepa, but they call it a corn griddle cake. And topped with chicken. And I thought it was, you know, definitely overpriced compared to the arepa truck that parks at the gas station in my neighborhood. But for theme park food in a bar environment where I expect all the food is going to be overpriced, I enjoyed it a lot. So
did you try the octopus ceviche? That's my
I did not. I love octopus, but I'm it's getting harder and harder to eat it when you see things like My Octopus Teacher and what's this new one that's on Netflix?
What room were you in?
I was sitting at the bar. There are these two tiny stools. Yes, exactly. At first I thought, oh, this is going to be uncomfortable. But then it was great, perfect view of the animatronic bird. I wish maybe there were more varied effects around the room in different spots. I don't know. And maybe there was stuff going on that I missed. But if you got a view of the bird, it's fantastic.
Yeah, so, I agree. I have been in all the rooms. I prefer obviously the main room because you do miss some of the action. And as long as you're nice when you check in, I ask the cast members kindly. I'm like, I don't mind waiting an extra half hour if I could sit in the main room, because a couple of weeks ago I took my mom for her first time and we were in the map room, and that to me is like my least favorite. I love, the fancy side room. I forget what it's called. Maybe like the captain's quarters, but the map room, you kind of feel like really shut off. I personally don't love it. I mean, it might be better if you have sensory overload, but you do kind of miss a lot in there. So don't be afraid to ask to sit. The bar, I think, is the best.
Yeah. And you mentioned Oga's. I would definitely go back to there before I would go back to Oga's. I've never had a great experience in terms of service or food and drink quality in Oga's. And I thought, even though they have the same rule of 45 minutes and 2 drinks, I found the staff a lot more friendly.
I love the people
in character. Also, like Oga's, you don't really get much of the sense that you're in a Star Wars bar. But I definitely knew I was in a pirate bar.
Bartenders still committed to the
still
act.
Play it up. But for the most part, they just want to get you in and get you out.
And I don't blame them. It's a lot to deal with there. And I honestly love Beak and Barrel. I mean, you and I love tiki bars and theme, and I feel like this is like a perfect example of like Trader Sam's kind of started it all. Oga's went to this next level. This is like next level immersion. It is wild, all the details.
All right. Well, without any further ado, let us jump right into the news in the queue. Well, we are just weeks away from the official grand opening of the new Universal Kids Resort in Texas. Our editor, Danny Meyering, is heading out there, and she's going to be on the show next week as a very special guest to tell us all about her experience. But in the meantime, we've got a preview of some of the most eagerly anticipated areas and attractions in the new park. And first up, we are going to talk about Shrek's Swamp.
Yes, I feel like this is the most hyped one. I guess it's because we've never had a Shrek ride, which is every time I hear that, I'm still kind of like shocked, but this looks great.
It is funny because in other parts of the world, we've got there's a Shrek Puss in Boots roller coaster in Singapore. There is a park in the Middle East, indoor park where they have a Shrek dark ride.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like an outdoor dark ride. So this is Shrek Swamp has three main attractions. Shrek and Fiona's Happily Ogre After, Shrek's Swamp Splash and Smash, and Shrek's Swamp Romp and Stomp. Along with a meet and greet featuring Shrek and Fiona. And I hope they have Donkey too, because it's just not a Shrek meet and greet if you don't have that Donkey there.
He's such a highlight. But I will say this attraction, just from seeing the artwork, looks really awesome. What the vegetation and landscaping looks like, it looks really neat.
Yeah, so you were talking about Shrek and Fiona's Happily Ogre After. Which is the closest thing that this park has to a dark ride, even though it's not dark. It is taking your family through the story of how the unlikely couple fell in love, retelling their fairy tale from Shrek and Fiona's perspective. The little bit of concept art that we have in this implies that we are not getting fully dimensional sets and animatronics, but something that kind of looks like handcrafted cutouts. I think it's supposed to look like something that Shrek and his family would have made themselves.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is interesting because the dark ride that is in the Middle East, that one also uses like a puppet style to get away with not having to have realistic animatronics.
Right.
So what we do know about this is that it's got a minimum height requirement of only 30 inches. And the vehicles look to be like trains with several cars in a row on a track. That is seriously giving me Heimlich choo-choo vibes.
Yeah.
And if that's the model for this ride, I don't expect this to be an e-ticket.
No.
But if it is in the vein of Heimlich's Choo-Choo, where it gives you like just a relaxing ride past some nice scenery with a few good Easter eggs, then I would be happy.
Oh yeah. I mean, it looks relaxing. Hopefully, I'm sure kids will love it. It's cute.
Yeah. Your other attractions here are Shrek's Swamp Romp and Stomp, which is the land's dry playground, and its concept art implies that it's looks like it's made out of rough-hewn wood and themed to Shrek's house. We can even see the moon cut out on the outhouse. I don't know if it's going to be as big as the one that the Shrek playground that we have here in Universal Studios Florida. It looks like a little smaller than that.
I love that one. I wonder if there'll be a fart slide.
You can't have a Shrek playground without a fart.
You cannot.
But what they will have that DreamWorks Land at Universal Studios Florida no longer has is a Shrek wet playground because the splash pad here in Florida has basically been torn out and paved over. Not sure what was wrong with that, but you will have a splash pad here that looks like it's got a dump bucket, similar to the Kung Fu Panda area in Universal.
You know what? And these are probably going to be the places that kids talk the most about after they visit this park.
Exactly. Yep.
Playgrounds. Yep. And honestly, I was thinking
playgrounds and splash
matter what rides they have because this is what kids love.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So that is what's coming to the Shrek area, and the other big area that we got some more details is Minions versus Minions, which is Bellow Bay Club. A area themed to the adorable yellow and purple creatures from the Despicable Me films. So we're not going to have any simulator rides or airport luggage carousel simulators.
But you will have a chaotic beach vacation.
Yes, based around water. I think you called it right earlier when you pointed out that water is the common theme in this park, because this is going to be a very warm park during the summer. So they've got something in every single corner to spray you down.
So I wonder, do you get changed, or do you just stay in a bathing suit and like Tivas and just be wet all day? You probably actually dry instantly because it's so hot.
I think this would be like, a good park for wearing like board shorts and a cotton shirt that's going to dry quickly. But yeah, maybe even wear flip-flops or
because I was like, you can't
water
keep
sandals.
Getting kids back and forth changed, because they're just constantly doing this. So, and every land has water-based attractions.
Yeah, I'm sure for most of the summer it's going to be 100 plus, and it's just gonna evaporate instantly.
Yeah. So true.
So what is Minions versus Minions Bellow Bay Club? It is a Minions themed area at the Universal Kids Resort, inspired by a chaotic beach vacation hosted by Illumination's mischievous characters. And it includes a boat ride, splash zones, and a colorful waterfront setting filled with playful details and surprises. The big ride here is Bellow Bay Cruise, which is a family-friendly water raft ride using circular rafts, similar to the Popeyes ride, but a little smaller. This is more intimate. It looks like this one's going to hold 9 people each. For comparison, Popeyes holds 12 people each. And I think Grizzly River in California Adventure is 8 people each. But only a minimum height requirement of 40 inches. I don't expect any. There's no big drops on this one.
It's like
you're
going
to have,
right? Yeah.
It's basically a loop. Honestly, the closest thing this reminds me to is the Lazy River at Cabana Bay Beach Club.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, it's like a lazy river.
I think it's going to have a little turbulence, a little splashing, but no, you'll have plenty of things spraying at you, but I don't think it's going to have anything like the big drops that you have on Popeyes or Grizzly River. So it'll be a gentle but very moist ride, and I love this tower. This also reminds me of the other pool at Cabana Bay that doesn't have the Lazy River.
Oh, yeah.
Has a tower that looks just like
yeah.
that. So again, from the concept art, a lot of flat cutouts, a lot of static figures. This is not a park to go to if you want to see advanced animatronics. Go to Epic if you want that.
Exactly. I mean, this just serves its own need,
Yeah. This is at 40 inches. That's, low for a big kids theme park, but it's one of the higher height requirements in this park, so it could be their first big kid water ride. Other attractions, Bellow Bay Golf Cart Derby puts families behind the wheel of their own golf cart, which sounds basically like oh my gosh, I'm completely spacing on the name of with the bumper cars. Bumper cars. Thank you. Bumper cars.
Yes, that's what I was like. Oh, I think that's what it sounds like.
36-inch height requirement on that one, so that's a little bit more accessible for preschoolers. And then finally, the Minions themed play area is going to be overlooking the Bellow Bay Cruise, and that's an interactive splash area. It's not too big, just a few water elements, but I guess it'll give the little kids something to do while their older siblings ride one of those rides.
Yes. I mean, and if you've ever seen these splash zones, like I think of the one at Epcot all the time, it's like a hot ticket. There's a million kids running around. They absolutely love these. And in a park that is going to be this hot, it is so glad that they were smart to make this such a focus of everything.
And you mentioned if your kids do get soaked and then it, for whatever reason, is not hot out, there is that hotel, which is right there at the gates of the theme park. So it'll be a lot easier to just walk in and out than it would be at most parks.
Absolutely. I'm sure they have a nice pool there too. I also saw the merch is so good. They can get like that big Mickey Mouse head shoulder bag that came out. They have one like that, but it's Shrek and it looks awesome. And there's a bunch of other really good merch.
Well, if you want to hear more about the new Universal Kids Resort, as we mentioned, Danny will be on as our special guest next week to talk all about it. All right. Next up, we are headed to Orlando, where Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift is well underway, and we've got a look at the big spike, the signature element of this attraction, which has now risen right at the border with City Walk. And this is a really dramatic, the old Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket came out not quite this far into City Walk, but similar, but it was low to the ground at that point. Having this towering out, I think this is making a really dramatic statement.
I love this. Yeah, it's definitely shocking.
Yeah. When this thing is done, there are still a couple pieces of track left to be installed as of the time we took this photo. But when done, this is going to be at about 170 feet in the air. And just before your vehicle launches into this, you're going to have a speed bump element with a little bunny hill. And then you're going to launch straight to the top of this and then drop backwards down the spike. There'll be a switch track that's being installed. We've got these great photos from our friend BioReconstruct, as always. And it's just amazing to see how quickly this is taking shape for opening in 2027.
I know. I'm like, every time I see something, I'm like, wow, I feel like it was just yesterday. We said goodbye to Hollywood. And now this is already like ready. It's just kind of crazy. Yeah. And I guess because in Hollywood, Universal Studios Hollywood, that ride took a little bit longer just because of the geographical and logistical issues and being in a neighborhood and whatnot. So I guess things move a lot faster when you don't.
Absolutely. Hollywood, which they, from what I understand, there was a opening date accidentally posted on their website that was very quickly rescinded, and they said that was not an official opening date. And it's gone kind of quiet. I haven't heard anything yet about team member or pass holder previews. And I think the media event that was scheduled for the 23rd has been unscheduled. Yeah. So who knows what
a few times.
They promised it this summer, and summer can stretch quite a ways.
October.
But yes, that ride had to be built on the side of a mountain and had to have sound shields put up to avoid annoying the neighbors. This one, they tore everything down. They basically got a flat clean slate here, and we don't mean to oversell how much has been done. This, the spike closest to City Walk is looking great, but there's a whole lot of work to do. There's a whole lot of photos with no track. And a lot of work to be done on the station, though we can see where cars are going to return to the station, where it splits to enter the dual boarding stations. And we can kind of imagine how folks are going to walk down past the old Ghostbusters firehouse towards where the library facade was, and then turn. And it looks like you're probably going to walk underneath the track and see the cars going overhead. We've seen how in Hollywood, in the queue line, you get a lot of close encounters seeing the cars moving through the track in the queue. And it looks like you'll have a couple opportunities to see the cars in our version as well.
Yes, it's very exciting. I am super hyped for this, and I'll probably be able to ride it unlike Hollywood Ride Rocket, because that always killed my head.
Oh, yeah. That was a chiropractor's dream.
Yes.
They made so much money off of people.
Oh, I'm sure.
This one, I expect it to be intense, but I also expect it to be smooth. So
I'm
can't
fine
wait.
with that. Yeah.
In other theme park news, we are heading a little further north up to New Jersey, to what was my original home park, Six Flags Great Adventure. And they have a summer full of additions that show that they are not just investing in the big iron rides, but they're kind of going all in on food and entertainment and seasonal festivities, which is the kind of thing you need to be a theme park and not just an amusement park.
Absolutely. And this made me really happy. Once the merger happened, I was definitely concerned and I was like, what direction are we going in? Then they got rid of the park presidents. Now we have them again. And everything that we're seeing come out is good.
Yeah. Yes. We've seen some positive signs here. We're still waiting for things like whatever's going to replace King Dakar. But this summer, they're focusing not on some big new roller coaster. They're focusing on entertainment and events. So starting out, just started this past weekend on June 13th. They've got a new Great Day Parade that runs twice daily, featuring characters, performers, and a family-friendly lineup of entertainment. And starting this coming week, June 19th through August 2nd at Shoreline Pier, which is the new seaside-inspired area at the boardwalk, they're going to be celebrating Boardwalk Nights. That's also got live music and accompanying the new rides, games, and dining locations in that area.
Yes. I mean, and this is what you need. It's like last year we saw Six Flags pull back on all of their seasonal events, and it definitely
it hurt them.
Yeah.
They talked about that in their corporate statements. Coming up next month, of course, they're going to be celebrating America's 250th on the 3rd and 4th of July with music, fireworks, and more entertainment. And then in August, DC Heroes and Villains Fest takes over. That's a time-limited event featuring heroes and villains from across the comic book universe. You can have character greetings, themed entertainment, and of course, specialty food and beverage.
Yes, they are definitely working on that food and beverage because it's always been kind of something that they've always struggled with, operations, everything. So it's nice to see they're putting effort into that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember anyone when I was growing up talking about going to Six Flags for the food. But they have introduced menu enhancements at a number of locations, including their Main Street pub, the Best of the West, Paradise Pizza and Grill. That new Main Street pub, fish and chips, actually looks pretty decent.
It looks really good, and they did a nice job with the appearance of it. It looks really nice now. And then, of course, the safari is so iconic.
Yes.
I mean, I just think of being a kid, and we would go drive through it all the time, and it was so much fun when the monkeys could just free rein on your car, which they can't do anymore.
Well, no, and I remember being terrified that they would tear open the roof and get at us. Remember those signs saying that if you had like a soft top, you could not go through. The vision that conjured in my head was terrifying.
It is crazy. Like, what a time to be alive. I remember having like stale popcorn and a giraffe just sticking their head in the car. Like, they let you do whatever. It was awesome.
Whatever.
But it's not like that anymore.
No,
wonderful.
But they have had a recent baby boom, and there are several new arrivals that you are going to be able to spot along that drive-through safari experience. Good news for cooling down in the heat, the Sawmill Log Flume, another classic attraction that's been closed temporarily since like 2021, is finally back in action. So I remember that being one of the first log flumes that I rode, probably long before Splash Mountain.
Yeah, I mean, those type of classic attractions we're just seeing go away. So when we still have a traditional log flume like that or a Dollywood, I love it so much.
And then finally, seasonal events will continue through the end of the year. Fright Fest is back. in the fall, and Dead Man's Party will return for that. And then Holiday in the Park is going to expand with new immersive themed areas, more decor, and more entertainment. So
That
a
is
lot.
great news. Yeah.
I gotta use my Six Flags annual pass, gold pass, there
Yes.
before
Same.
the end of the year. All right, and then next up, our last piece of news in the queue, we are heading to Carowinds. I know one of your favorites.
Yes.
And they are making some waves with the announcement of a record-breaking new water ride for 2027. It's called Rip Roarin' Falls, and it will break not one, not two,
Yes.
but 3 different
Woo.
world records. We've been talking a lot about record inflation, but this genuinely seems to be a new category of water ride because it is going to feature a 100-foot drop.
That paired with 50 miles per hour, I just
Right?
spent a lot of time trying to wrap my brain around that because you never think fast with
Right.
water rides. It just doesn't go hand in hand. That is crazy numbers.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think Splash Mountain, Dudley Do Right, Jurassic Park River Adventure, I don't think any of them are more than like 70 feet or 80
Wow.
feet. And yeah, so 100-foot plunge, that's an impressive barrier, 50 miles an hour.
Wow.
And it is going to have the tallest reverse drop with a backwards camelback. I don't know anything else that has a reverse backwards camelback, so it can be the tallest just by default. And a lot of innovative technology, multiple turntables, direction switches, and some animated figures of raccoons that seem to be infesting this supposedly haunted sawmill and causing all sorts of havoc.
Of course, there is backstory, which we love, a little bit of lore. It's also an homage to the water ride Rip Roarin' Rapids that I believe closed like 8 or so years ago. So I love that they're honoring the name with it.
Yes. Paying tribute to that legacy. A few nerdy details. This is going to run through more than 2,240 feet of track. The ride time is going to be about 6.5 minutes, so good long ride.
Wow, yeah.
And the Carowinds president, Bridget Bywater, said that this level of investment and innovation is a true testament to their team's commitment to bringing legendary attractions and world-class experiences to the Carolinas. So it definitely looks like they're aiming to make it one of their e-tickets. And it's only got a 35-inch height requirement. So even though it's hitting 50 miles an hour, 100 feet in the air, 35-inch height requirement means that you'll probably be able to bring like your toddler.
That's crazy.
So, I hope your kid's brave.
Yes. Yeah. I cannot fathom that, but I'm very excited.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm sure you will be out there when it opens in 2027. All right, that is going to bring us to the end of this week's news in the queue. But before we jump into this week's main attraction, it's time to hear a word from our sponsor.
There's only one place on Earth where the magic is real, the memories last forever, and every single visit feels like the first time. Walt Disney World. And nobody plans it better than MEI-Travel, an authorized Disney vacation planner and earmarked agency with over 20 years of Walt Disney World expertise. Best of all, their planning services are completely free. Visit mousefantravel.com and let the experts handle every magical detail. Your best Disney trip starts here.
It's time for the main attraction.
All right. Well, for our main attraction, we are headed to the Universal parks on both coasts, where I feel like every few years we start debating how much longer the Simpsons have left.
Yes.
Especially since Disney took control of Fox, which controls the Simpsons. A lot of people have been speculating about when any supposed contract might expire and when The Simpsons would go away. Well, Matt Selman, who is one of the showrunners for The Simpsons, gave an interview to a podcast recently that kind of ignited the internet with the possibility that we might finally get a Treehouse of Horrors at Halloween Horror Nights.
Wow. I mean, why did it take this long? I mean, it's not even a confirmation either.
Right.
So.
It's so we need to say this is the furthest thing from a confirmation.
Yes, it is not a confirmation. It's not an announcement.
And it's important that we do a little bit of backstory because Selman has previously given interviews regarding the Simpsons attractions that have sparked interest. This is not the first time. And for a little refresher, back in October of last year, he talked to Entertainment Weekly and gave an interview that got a lot of attention where he talked about the Simpsons ride and saying that he would be shocked if it ever left Universal. And but to clarify, at that time, he said he did not have any inside information, that he was not involved in any negotiations between the Simpsons and Universal, that he literally said, "I'm just a fan. This is not official.
Yeah,
I'm not party to any negotiations."
People really twisted and ran with that.
So just 1 year ago, he was saying, this is way above my pay grade. I'm just speculating. So we have to keep that in mind. Now, I don't know if maybe I don't think his title has changed. Maybe his place in the pecking order has changed. Maybe he has more inside information than he did a year ago. But I would take anything in this as just being his speculation, because I would think that any new use of Simpsons material in Universal would have to be conversations between Disney lawyers and Universal lawyers on a level way above the way a show like The Simpsons works. A showrunner is one piece in a cog, and it doesn't necessarily mean that he would have any involvement in these kind of licensing.
A showrunner has nothing to do with this.
Definitely above his pay grade. But we know that in the past, when they developed the Springfield area, they consulted with showrunners and writers about things that they were developing. So it's not impossible that he could get added into the loop. But I wouldn't say that he would be a person to make a decision about whether it happens or not. So, but it did give people a lot of hope because he says that he had a meeting with Universal and that they have discussed Halloweenizing the Springfield area for Horror Nights. He never used the phrase Treehouse of Horrors, and he specifically said that it would not be changing the nuts and bolts of the ride itself, that they were talking about adding things outside of the ride. So it would be great to have them do a brand new ride film based on Treehouse of Horrors, but that ain't happening.
It doesn't sound it,
He even teased that they had ideas for 2026, but he said that anything that would be the best version of this would not be until 2027. I don't expect to see much or anything Simpsons this year. Maybe we'll be really surprised with a meet and greet or some lighting and sound changes, but I don't think they have the time to do that for this year.
I mean, it would definitely be cool, and it's been long yearned for.
Yes. People have been shouting for a Treehouse of Horrors at Halloween Horror Nights since
the
90s. Since even before the Simpsons ride came there, but certainly since the Simpsons ride was first installed. So we've got here a link to the video of his interview on this podcast, so you can hear it for yourself. As well as a link to that previous podcast or previous interview that he did regarding it. So, I would say don't get too excited yet, especially for 2026. But it would be great to see that finally, after all that these years of fan speculation, finally come around maybe next year.
Yeah. I mean, even like you said, atmospheric music. I mean, that could be something that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Easy to do, but we shall see for sure.
Yeah. There's always unlike, say, the Harry Potter contracts or the Marvel contracts for Islands of Adventure, the original Simpsons contracts are not public record as far as I know. So we don't know exactly. There's a lot of speculation about when they'd expire, what it would take to renew them. But it's all, unless you're a lawyer working for Disney or Universal,
You don't know.
we don't know. Yeah. But I think, especially now that we think Pokemon, which at one point was rumored to go into Simpsons, now that we know that, pretty much know that's going into Lost Continent, I don't mind, especially if a new Simpsons movie comes out and reignites interest. Sure, keep the Simpsons around, but please, can we re-render the ride film? It's just a new projectors and a new upscaled ride film would really go a long way. Maybe we can. I'm not a fan of generative AI, but if there was a way to take, I like the jokes, I like this. I don't need to change the story, but if they could re-render it so it actually looked like it was hand drawn instead of looked like it was from an Xbox from like the year 2000, that would make me happy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's definitely, that ride is the weakest link in the land. The land itself, I love.
Oh, everything around, especially the Hollywood version.
Yes,
especially is so well done.
So good.
So I don't need it to go away, but I would like it to get some love. All right, well, that is going to bring us to the end of this week's show. But before we go, let's take a look back and see any comments that you left us. And Michael Bingham is in a New York state of mind. Yes, I can understand you've been busy celebrating like so many others, but I'm glad you were still able to make it into the podcast today. Hello to Sonia.
Hello.
And Veronica has a question. Will Star Wars A New Hope re-showing surpass Mandalorian and Grogu? Have they announced a re-release of Star Wars A New Hope? I assume that there will be one in 2027 for the 50th anniversary. And I know that they have worked on a restoration of the original before it was called A New Hope.
Yeah.
But it was just called Star Wars. It wasn't episode 4 because there was no, idea that it was going to be. That version where Han shoots first, I know they have done a restoration and clips of that leaked out. So if they put that back in theaters, I will line up. I can remember going to the theaters in 1997 when they first released Special Edition, and being so excited to see the movie on a big screen again. And then Jabba the Hutt came up, and I was just like, "Oh, what are we looking at?"
Yeah.
So, see, Michael Bingham says it's going to be amazing when Fast and the Furious roller coaster opens at Universal Studios Florida. We are all super pumped for that, and we are all also would be very excited for a Treehouse of Horror. So, finally, last word goes to Vincent Lee. What's up, dude? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
It's an underrated phrase. What's up?
I'm 1995. If you were born in 1995, you might vaguely remember the "What's up?"
Yeah.
Commercial. All right. Before we go, we want to give one more thank you to our sponsor, MEI-Travel Travels, and to remind you to please purchase your copy of our Epic Universe commemorative magazine at our website in print or digital. Also, we want to remind everyone to please give us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you happen to listen to us, as well as a like and subscribe on YouTube. And please be sure to follow us at attractionsmagazine.com. Search for Attractions Magazine on your favorite social media accounts. And Carly, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Yes, you could find me at Adventures by Carly.
And you can find me at S. Kabursky or at The Unofficial Guides. And you can pick up copies of my guidebooks, pre-order for 2027 at theunofficialguides.com. And until next week, we hope you folks stay safe, try something new, but most importantly, have fun. Because we will see you again next time. Bye.